All right. It is Wednesday night, December the 3rd, 2025. It's Real Unfiltered Talk. I'm James Bryan alongside the tutu. Wait, the tutu is the thing that a ballerina wears.
Yeah.
That's
tell
right.
me about
Let
it.
me back up.
Make sure
Two
I'm not saying
gentlemen.
I haven't had one on, but
Yep. So don't adjust your screens. It's not a morph of Dion and I in the middle, because the gray-haired little skinny dude. We'll get to him later. But on my other side, on your stage right, on my left, is the two-time world champion, BSSS FLW world champion angler. Actually cashed a check or two in between, Mr. Dion Hibden. Dion, happy holidays. Welcome to the Legends and Liars Lounge. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm all right. Pretty good. I noticed that all of our turds that come and watch the show decided they're going to show up tonight because they didn't want to watch the ukulele exhibition
They
last
missed out
week.
on the live concert.
Yeah. So now I'm starting to think
See?
maybe. So just so you guys know, you get a line and I get a pole, honey.
Might be our new music.
You get a line and I get a pole, babe. You get a line and I get a pole. We'll go down the call that hole, honey,
It's not the
baby,
same.
mine.
It's just not the same without the ukulele.
Just had to do it. If you're not going to be here to hear it, you had to hear it from me. Lots of stuff going on this week. We haven't talked.
No.
How was your week?
Oh, my week's been fine.
Yeah? Still didn't kill a deer, did you?
Nope.
Nice. You're not going to now.
Oh, I'm going to.
No,
Yeah.
don't think so.
Yeah, it's coming.
I think the boys are putting you in bad spots and have to drag your crap out of the field. That's what I think.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
Yeah. So we'll get to you, Todd.
Hey,
Welcome, Todd
no
Tigar, to
problem.
the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
You won't be when I'm done with you.
Oh, I know. I'm on the totem pole here.
That's
so.
all right. You're lucky to be on tonight. No, I'm glad you're here. It's we've got a lot to talk about there too, but we haven't really talked about a lot of news. But trying to think of a nice way to say it. Got another tournament industry that went tits up this week. Did you hear that one?
I did not.
The crappie world lost another tournament organization. The NCL announced that they're going to shut its doors at the end of the year
Huh.
due to non-participation, no sponsors, no money, no anglers, no anything.
Yeah.
And that also. So I've been doing a lot of reading this week, and I know you don't like the politics of it all, and I don't think our fans do either. But I really do. So you're going to have to listen to it for a minute. No professional crappie organization has announced a schedule yet for 2026, and it's December.
None of them?
None of them.
Oh,
Not really good, right?
no, that's not good.
So, and I've been saying that the bass guys need to pay attention because what's happening there has been trickling slowly into the bass world. And I've talked to MoBass people this week. I have talked to smaller tournament organization owners this week. I've talked to big tournament organizations this week. And their numbers in the bass world are all down. And I kind of said, well, I'll give you an example. And Todd's here tonight because he is a very avid BSS angler, correct? Still?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fished Mo Bass, made it to the championships this year, went up to Mississippi, and we're going to talk about that.
Yep.
But Mo Bass numbers are down. And we've always talked about that if you're not going to fish a professional tournament organization, you're going to go down and be a regional angler, but those numbers are also down. So I talked to the Mo Bass folks, and I said, well, you would think because it's cheaper to fish, you have a chance to participate, that it must be you guys and not bass fishing. My thoughts is you pick bad lakes, you have a crappy schedule, and they said no. And we're going to get to this, Todd, because you can chime in on this. Todd fished on the co-angler side, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
So,
I sure did, James.
Now you can start in the BSS, and this is the way it used to be. You could start a BSS club with 6 members, I believe.
6 members, yes.
6 members. And then you can fish your little club, do what you want to. And the winner of that club, or you can pick one or whatever, qualifies into a regional tournament. Regional tournament goes to
Well, actually,
state
qualify,
tournament.
you go to state.
State tournament, then
Then the regionals.
regional, and then you get to the championship.
Championship.
If you win the championship, you get a ticket punched to the Classic.
Yes, sir.
10 years ago, and that was the way Kershaw did it. The only person to ever make it to the Classic and win, but he went through the federation, did it that way. Neat deal.
Yep.
In Missouri, 5-6 years ago, there were 6 tickets. So they had all kinds of different ways you could get to the Classic. There were six times. You know how many it is now? It's 1. Only one. Because they give 2 to the college kids, and they give 2 to the high school bass fishing group, which I'm not arguing, and then 1 for a pro and 1 for a co-angler, correct?
Right.
So you got one shot now in your state to get to the Classic. So they narrowed that window way down. Well, that's less participation. The other thing is, and I just find it fascinating, BSS, if you start a club, you know you don't have to fish a single tournament.
Exactly.
You can buy in.
Yes.
So me and you, Dion, we'll get Rod and Ron and maybe Ed, Todd, and we'll start a BSS club. We'll put in our $60 membership, I think it is.
Yes.
$60, and we never have to fish a tournament. But we can pay in to the regionals and skip all the steps and go. And I think that's where it's going to save money. What do you think?
Actually, the way I think about it is, when an individual has been in MoBass since '95, I've been in MoBass for 30 years.
Get closer.
I've been in
There
bass,
you go.
BASS for 30 some years now, and I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of ups and downs. Technology has advanced to the point where it comes to the point where as me being the boater or the pro or the non-boater, there's certain differences. I mean, being in the front of the boat, you have control of the boat and know exactly where to go. But with technology today, with live scope, the individual that's in the back, it's kind of a no-win situation because you're basically dealt the draw of the card, or basically whoever random picks the boater. So basically, you're stuck. You're stuck in the back of the boat, and you got nothing to worry about, but you still have to take that advantage. And being a good angler, you need to know exactly, because you don't have that technology sitting right in front of you.
Right. Now, play devil's advocate here, because obviously we're all going to say that it's going to make an effect on how many people participate as co-anglers in any trail now because of that, what's happening. But then you also have, because you talked about you're kind of stuck. I have talked to, I'd say, I don't know, a good dozen anglers who have fished in the back of Dion Hibden's boat. And it's equally as shitty as it is fishing behind live scope.
Well, Dion's a different story.
Respectfully. You understand what I'm saying? A good pro picks all the water clean. Don't really give them a good opportunity to cast. And I think, and you can talk about this a little bit, Dion, but it's your job as a professional angler to not let them have that good cast, right?
Well,
I mean, why do it if you're there to make a living?
It's giving them something that, I've never felt bad about it because I have to pay a lot more. I got a lot more in it, and that's the way I have to look at it. I've got a ton more invested, and it's my livelihood for the most part. Co-anglers, amateurs, whatever you want to call them, like I say, they're kind of there for the tournament, that particular tournament. Very few truly fish all season long to qualify for the year end. In the tournaments that I've fished in my lifetime, there's a few of them that do try to qualify for the championship at the end of the year, but about 80% of who you fish with are guys that are fishing that tournament because it's on their lake or it's a lake they want to learn how to fish or something like that. So it's hard for me to feel bad about taking the bulk of the good ones.
Right, and I didn't say you should feel bad. I'm saying that's the difference between fishing for fun and fishing for, which is. It's exactly where I wanted you to put your foot in there, because I'm going to say something today that, and I'm going to include you to it. I'm going to include you into this because it's happened to you before. To be a large, successful bass organization, you have to have somebody that, and I'm going to tell you guys the term, and we've all had to do it at one time or another. It's called the donator. You ever heard that term?
Sure.
You've heard of it, Todd, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
There's some really big sticks that are fishing, and they've been on the water a whole lot more than you, and you just pop into town, you haven't had a lot of time on the water. And yes, every bass guy thinks he's got the opportunity to win. However, they don't. They end up donating their money to the payout, called donating. And in a 250 boat field, let's say the BFL, there's 200 donators.
Mm-hmm.
They just are. And because it's a prestigious tournament, you want to give it a shot. You want to try it. You see where I'm going with this?
Sure.
And now with higher entry fees, forward-facing technology, you lose those, and that's where you lose the payouts. And when you lose payouts is when you lose attendance. When you lose attendance, you lose sponsors. So it's really not so much forward-facing sonar. It's a combination of a lot of things that lead up to that.
Well, let me step in here for a second. One of the things I want to say is, yeah, granted, I ran my boat. I ran my boat until I had my divorce in 2014. And my boat's been in storage since 2014. And my problem is I took a sabbatical for about 3 years. I didn't put a fishing pole in my hand, didn't do anything. I basically went out and I said, I looked at life and said, I need to take a break from this. So I come back 3 years later, and I was in the back of Nick Alt's boat. And the first tournament back was on Truman Lake. And me and him ran up the Tebow area, and we ended up in a slough back up in there, a cut, and basically throwing the same thing. He'd throw in, he was the boater, and I was the non-boater. He'd throw in, wouldn't get bit. I'd throw in the same place, and I'd pull in a 4 or 5 pounder. And Nick looked at me and says, "You've been gone for 3 years, and you come up here and you're throwing the same bait as I'm throwing, but yet you're catching them."
Mm-hmm.
So, times have changed, and with the technology today, with expense, yes, as a boater, you pay more expenses, you got insurance, you got all this other stuff, and your entry fee is a lot higher. But the guy that's in the back of the boat, regardless, under BASS rules, that guy in the back of the boat has that opportunity. If the guy in the front of the boat has one waypoint, and he's on that waypoint, he's got live scope on it, that individual should allow you the same amount of time or a chance to hit that same spot. And that's in the BASS rules.
But did they?
No.
That's
No.
right.
No.
I still, to this very day, this afternoon, I educated a guy about cheating. And I said, the MLF is a huge joke because they all cheat. He's like, what do you mean? And I said, they don't get disqualified, they get fined. And he didn't understand what I was saying, and I started explaining that. And he's like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, no. I said, do you remember? And I said, do you remember back in the day when Iaconelli would get his ass kicked in a tournament, and instead of coming in disgraced, he would go into off waters with a camera on him and fish off limits on purpose so he would get DQ'd so he could just come in and say, they did me wrong. But he was zeroing out the boat, and that was his way of doing it. And I won't talk about the flag controversy at the Classic, but that was Ike. You can't do that anymore. You just get fined, but you still got to weigh in no fish, So they just work around the rules, right?
They seem to find a way every time I look up.
Yep. And I guess where I'm heading with that is now we're seeing, and I'm just going to say this to all the people. I'm not Randy Blockett. No, I don't think that this is spotlighting, or whatever he likes to use for a term. I think where I'm going with this is, if there wasn't a problem with technology and bass fishing, they wouldn't continue to try to modify the rules. We're seeing BSS with, was it half the day you can, or half the day you can, or some lakes you can't. Oh, some lakes you can, some lakes you can't. They did a draw.
It's on a draw.
MLF has a period where you can't. So if it wasn't an issue, then they wouldn't have a problem with that, and they wouldn't change anything. But they are, so there you go. Now, wipe all that out. Todd Fish, the state, goes to the regional. Did you win regional?
Yep.
Won regional. Made it all the way to one step to the Classic,
But,
right?
But you got to figure, in the last 8 years, I've been to regionals 7 times.
All right, so you're an 8-time loser.
Exactly.
That sucks.
Exactly.
Man, this is the agony of defeat show.
Yeah.
We still haven't felt the thrill of victory yet.
No, not the thrill of victory.
It's like you got the medium-sized trophy.
There you go.
You gotta honor one thing.
That's almost.
Be truthful.
Well, yeah, no, it is, and it's, and I'm gonna steal a line, and you already know this. I guarantee you know this. I'm gonna steal a line from Guido Hibden, and he told me once when I came back after my first tournament, I fished a Toyota, and I was on Rayburn, and I think I had like 2 fish, and it sucked, and it got cold, and you go out and you practice 80 degrees, and then the weather comes out and it's 20, come tournament day, just nothing worked right. And I came back, and it was all pissy. And he just said, "Hey, man, you got to," and he didn't say, "Hey, man," but I can't do an impersonation of your dad. And it was like, "Hey, you dumb son of a bitch." When you're out there floating in the lake and you see all these other guys, you've already won. He said something along that line. When you're out there and you see all those pros out there and you've made it past the flat tires, past the travel, and past the breakdowns, got your room, you found a place to sleep, got something to eat, got your boat ready, got it gassed up, and you're floating, you've already won because there's thousands and thousands of people who dreamed that they had that chance.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you had that chance 7 times.
Well, yeah, 7 times, but you got to figure
Some guys whooping your ass.
as a non-boater. I mean,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. I mean,
I think it'd be more challenging to fish out of the back of the boat and
It is.
actually succeed.
It is.
Unless you got a guy like me that's a dumb crap that lets you fish good water, like they did at Pickwick. That's a whole other story. That happens, right?
It does.
Because you get a guy that's on good fish, but he doesn't have the knowledge. And I'm being honest. You're talking about honest. I've been on lakes fishing a tournament on a pro-am, and I had no idea what back boating an angler even meant. I was a nice guy. Hey, there's some fish here, and they're whacking the shit out of them, and I realized, well, I shouldn't have done that. Well, I'm netting their fish, taking it off the hook, and drifting down, like before spot lock. You got to get back up to the spot again. Next thing, they caught another one. And before you know it, you're there, call all your fish. Happens, right?
It happens.
Has it happened to you?
Absolutely.
See? Not on purpose, though.
Not intentionally, no.
Yep. Because you got, I think there
I
are,
didn't say I liked it. I just said, yeah, it's happened.
yeah. I think there are some, and there are, I think that the term they call it is professional co-anglers. There are guys that
There are a few.
back in the FLW days when you fished,
Sure.
there were guys who fished it as a career.
Absolutely.
They took their boats. They pre-fished too. They did all the stuff, but then come tournament day, they got in the back of the
Yep.
pro when they did it.
Yep.
And they probably shed a little knowledge for a couple of pros now and then. Not you.
There's
You never take any
There's a
advice from
lot
a
of-
co-angler. That's a sin, isn't it?
the thing of it. No. the thing of it is we worked for years and years and years to get to where they were pro-am tournaments.
Mhm.
Okay, and then we got to the pro-am tournaments, and all pro-am tournaments are is the marketing. It's marketing. Period. Now we have our customer in the boat with us. Okay, they're in the back of the boat with us for 8 hours. Okay, if I can't sell you my product in 8 hours' time, I need to hang up my stuff. Okay, I need to quit doing what I'm doing. And now, where live scope and all this is taking effect on our industries, and your crappie tournaments going out of business,
Mhm.
and actual I'm not going to throw BASS under the bus any more than I'm FLW or anybody else involved right now. But they've tried to, they've taken one kind of fishing and they've made it miserable on that guy in the back of the boat.
Agreed.
And when I say they've made it miserable for him, that's your customer.
Right.
That would be like somebody walking into a car dealership and he walks into the car dealership and you say, "Hey, how can I help you?" "No, wait a minute. I'm going to piss in your pocket first."
Right.
You're making them mad right off the get-go as soon as they walk through the door. That's your customer.
Right.
And if everybody can't look at the huge picture of what it's doing to the fishing industry right now, and when I say fishing industry, I don't mean bass fishing. I mean fishing as a whole.
Right.
Well, one little deal. And when I say one little deal, forward-facing sonar is not the root of all evil, but it's dang sure not helping anything. And the reason for that is it's truly making it uncomfortable for the people who we have treated as customers for so many years, and we have sold our product to for so many years. We have basically, it's like we're pissing them off nowadays.
Uh-oh.
Hello? But what it's doing is it's kind of twisting our everything we tried to accomplish for 30 dang years is turned it around, and we're headed the other direction now. And the tournament organizations you talking about, the tournament organizations changing and everything. All of the tournaments nowadays. I talked to my best friend, in the whole world, Peter T, the other day, and he said, "Well, it kind of looks like all the tournament organizations are going to fewer and fewer people."
Thank you.
Okay, they're going to fewer and fewer people because there's less and less people making a living in our sport. Okay, so to have a good tournament organization, they're going to have to refine it down. They're going to have to shrink it up because they don't have enough guys to do it anymore because of those sponsors that we are losing and the way our industry is going and everything's down. It's down for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's the reason.
I got a question.
We're now not worried about making our customers happy. Now
Right.
we're just pissing them off.
Right.
And I don't
It's a
buy
good
fishing
way.
tackle. I don't buy fishing tackle. Okay, I intentionally work my ass off at doing what I do, so you will give me my fishing tackle.
Right.
Okay, I look at that one way. I've worked hard enough, I sell it hard enough, and I promote it hard enough that I should never have to buy fishing tackle.
Okay.
Okay? Him right here, he buys fishing tackle. He has to buy some fishing tackle. Okay? So him fishing out of the back of the boat, that's the guy you want to keep happy. He's the guy
Well,
that goes and buys a new Camus bass boat every 2 or 3 years. He's
no,
the guy.
we buy used stuff, dude.
Well, but,
yeah,
I'm
we
saying,
buy.
but I'm saying he's the guy that
$10,000
goes
stuff.
and buys those boats. He's the guy that goes and buys those fishing reels.
Right.
And,
Well, so it's, and I know you had a question for Dion too, but here's the thing. You hear out there in social media land and with other anglers like, well, these electronic companies are paying these tournament industries all this money.
no, they're not.
They're absolutely not.
They're
because I started
not.
thinking about it. When was the last time you saw an angler with actual real sponsored jersey, like a new one? I mean,
I bet you.
you don't.
I bet.
you
I
know?
bet you the electronics companies right today are spending less than they did 2 years ago.
And you know why? Because
'Cause
they don't have to. That's right.
They don't
They're
have
making
to.
a ton of
People
money.
are buying
Yeah.
this stuff,
Yeah.
and they don't have to spend it on
that's,
advertising.
And that's where it came to. They used to go to an angler, and kind of a surprise, but most tackle companies were struggling when they go to a pro. They didn't have the hottest lure. They're like, hey, let's give the example, and I know it's an old story, but the flying lure. Nobody wanted to promote that lure. Everybody
They
thought
made
it was
a
a
lot of
hokey
money,
TV piece of crap. And your dad said, I can sell that.
Absolutely,
And they built a house from the proceeds.
that's right.
And it's just, and there's all kinds of people that come with an idea. And those are the ones the anglers are like, it may not work, but you know what? We'll push it. We'll make it work. We'll make it sell. I remember we had at our old original store, we used to do seminars, and we did poker and we did all kinds of crazy stuff. But your dad came in and he's like, all right, and this is what he said: what do we need to sell? Not what are we going to talk about? What do we need to sell?
Yep.
And we had went down to Lucky Strike when it was in Cassville, and they were known for making a sassy shad minnow that was spot on. And back then, you could go down and buy that stuff. It was on a pallet, and you could buy it by the pound, by the piece, by the pound. But a flat was generally 500 baits, 1,000 baits.
Yeah.
And they were pennies. I mean, you could buy a 2-inch sassy shad body that was hand painted black on the back, pearl, 2 cents, penny, something like that. We put 10 in a pack, put them up, and I filled a whole wall with them. And they were like $1.99 for 10. Now, mind you, that we had 12 cents in them, something like that. So we'll do them for half price, and your dad says, I'll sell them. So he went up on the stage, and he said, hey, it's fall, and I'm going to show you guys today how to take this bait and catch a fish. And he said, get yourself on a bluff wall, get you a 1/4 ounce jig head, and you bounce it down the wall and let that minnow dive down. He talked about 2 or 3 different techniques on how to take a sass shad and catch fish with it. And we sold every one that night. So we made $500. We got rid of them. But the point is, he could have said, I'm going to go up there and we're going to talk about whatever. He's like, he looked at that and he goes, we can sell these. And that was the mentality. And I think that's the mentality that's missing in today's sponsorship anglers. They don't sell for the company. They don't sell for the tackle stores. And it's all about analytics and algorithms and your Instagram followers. And it doesn't sell product. I mean, you learn a lot. I mean, here we're doing a podcast. That's what they all want, the information.
And I think a lot of it's...
But they're not buying anything.
I think a lot of it's, getting the... for so many years, and we wanted the youngsters in there. I was that guy. A long time ago, I was that guy. I was the youngster of the bunch, and I know how little amount of money I had. Growing up, raising a wife and three little boys, and you didn't have that money. These youngsters are no different today than they were then. Those kids don't have no money.
It's a little different.
It's looking out in this crowd of these gray-haired guys. Those are guys that's got a little bit of money.
You want to know the difference between then and now?
And they spend a little bit of money on what they want to do. In this day and age, the young people, we've got them into this deal, and now we gave it to them.
Yeah, but they went into it wrong. When
they didn't earn it. They wanted it given to them.
Well, and those that had it given to them, or at least they had a grandma with a good checkbook or a good banker, you're $300,000 in debt going into this thing, $400,000 in debt, and it wasn't that bad back then. It was bad, but not
how many
like that.
people can afford that over any length of time? I mean,
we're going to find out because it's about the cycle. You and I talk about the cycle. Back and not knocking boat works, but about the time they started down here at the lake, they were the biggest boat dealer around, and everybody bought new Caymases. That was in 20, right? About 2020, roughly.
Somewhere around 2020. Yeah.
Well, now we're creeping up on 5 years, 60 months, and these kids that bought boats back then, or maybe are going to be close enough to maybe get out. Maybe. Doubt it, but maybe. And when I say get out, from a financial standpoint, it's called inequity. They owe more on the boat than what it's worth. And they might be getting neutral, but even if they get neutral and get out, boats are not any cheaper.
No.
The electronics aren't any cheaper, so they're going to go right back in the same hole they got into. So it's not advantageous. And, I mean, I personally, Dad and I, we were blessed to get in line and buy a boat that was left over from the Hibden family. And if you could get in line and find a pro, when they'd use their boats, they'd use them for like 6 months. And they were sponsored with motor deals, boat deals. They got discounted pricing. And they used them, and they got them another one like in 6 months because they stayed in a new boat. It was great marketing. They were selling product. But if you could pick up one of those boats, it was half price. So it was win-win for everybody. Then that angler went and fished his regional tournaments with it. He sold it down to the recreational angler. He went crappie fishing with it, and everybody won. And somewhere along the lines, they went, we don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to pay full price, and now here we are. But that didn't work.
Well, it's like the Alliance program with BASS right now, Mo Bass. The Alliance program is not there anymore. I mean,
there's nothing there anymore.
There's nothing.
Yep.
I mean, it's gone.
Now, to prove that I think that I'm right, the NPFL made a press release. That's the National Professional Fishing League.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
They announced their full field of the non-live scope tournament. And you haven't looked at this, right?
Nope.
I think it's impressive because I think they're winning and they're not really bragging too bad, but they're getting ready to. So they have 6 events for 26, and I looked it up just so back up to let everybody know. Bass Opens this year, $2,000. Elite qualifiers are $3,500. And if you make it to the elites, there's no fee. But then again, they all get paid and they all cheat and get fined, so it's no big deal. NPFL, $5,200 to fish, one tournament. BFL, $200, Toyota's $1,700, and the invitationals that we love so much are $5,000. The MLF and the Brass Pro Tour is anywhere they really can't determine because it's kind of based on your sponsorship and your money and what you bring to the table. But $5,500 to $6,400 per event. That's just entry fees. Okay. So, do you want me to read the owner's press release, the little angler, or do we go down the list of some of the anglers to see how many you recognize?
Go right ahead. I'm
so,
listening.
I think instead of reading it, now let me just do this. He said, for anglers who are ready to test themselves against a variety of fisheries, species, seasons, and conditions, the NPFL is the answer, Fuller says. But maybe even more than that, it's a chance to compete against all-time greats like Rick Clunn, come out of retirement, is going to fish, Greg Hackney, Andy Morgan, top crossovers like Patrick Walters, John Cox, Zach Burge, homegrown stars like Timmy Reams, Todd Goad, Scott Hamrick. Plus, we've got more than a dozen true rookies joining the field in 2026 who have never fished at the top level of Major Tour, but ready to make a name for themselves. It's a really cool way to go at it. Those are some names right there, right?
Yeah.
So I started going through it. And I was trying to think, we always talk about I don't know anybody, but I know names in here. Hunter Bowman. Heard of him? Young kid, right? He was a scoper, wasn't he?
I think, yeah.
Fishing MPFL. Tommy Biffle. He's 99,000 years old. He's going to fish. But you know why? Because he knows he can be competitive. It's kind of cool. Scott Canterbury. And I'm going to pass over to Craig Chambers. You know any of these guys? I'm still in CH. Hold on. Damn, man. You say Cherry? Rick Clun, Hank Cherry's fishing. Luke Clausen's fishing. Brandon Cobb, Bo Collins, Michael Cormo, Drew Cook, Richard Cooper, John Cox, Florida, John Cox, Georgia. Which one's the old John Cox?
Florida.
Florida. So he's 97 years old too, isn't he?
He's not old, no.
He's not? All right. Let's see who else we got here.
He's probably in his 40s.
Really? Chad Grigsby, Greg Hackney, Matt Heron. These are guys who be fishing any of those trails, and they're fishing this one. I think it's kind of impressive. Russ Lane, Jared Littner, Bill Lowen, Lyndall Martin, Andy Morgan, Pete Pons. Pete Pons is fishing. You haven't heard these? Doesn't matter. It's a Martins. Yeah, Jason Reyes. You know him,
Martin?
right?
Which
Dale
one?
Robertson, Matt Robinson, Kevin Rogers, Fred Rumbaunis. He's fishing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I'm saying, Scott Suggs, Gerald Swindle, you know a lot more. I'm just James Watson, which he got kicked out of everything else, but still a good fisherman. Those are like just off top. Those are names that I actually know.
Yeah.
So why are they going there? Because they're going to market it better? Is it a better opportunity to fish, or is it because is it the mentality we all have is that on any given day we can go out with our rod and reel and our jig and we can whip somebody's ass, and that way it's designed is to set up for that? Or am I wrong?
I think you can try to change it too much, and I think they tried to change the whole industry overnight, and I don't think it panned out for them.
Or do you believe in the
really
other
don't.
side of the young kids that said these are all a bunch of pussies that can't fish with the toys and with the electronics, and they're going over to this one, and that's that's why.
Those young guys that are saying that, they're not going to be in business very long because they're not going to have any tournament organizations to fish.
But that's the argument that's out there.
Because it's going to go by the wayside.
Right.
Well, look what happened to the Aquaview. The Aquaview, they put that camera down.
Oh, that's another one I was going to ask you about. So, I don't know what it's called, but did you ever use? Is it a boggle? Is it the? It looks like you ever seen it? Looks like a highway cone. They stick it down in the water, and you can.
Yeah.
What were those called?
You remember what they're called? Paid? Yeah,
They do.
Yeah, it's not uncommon in the north.
No.
They
But
use it.
I wonder if they still use those in addition with live scope. And they say, why'd they quit using them? I said, because you had to hold them and hold your rod at the same time.
Yeah.
That's hard as hell. Sticking your head down in a.
Yeah, it's
but
for
that was-
spawning.
Yeah.
That was to keep the wind break. Because you got the wind chop.
Yeah, but it was still, that was kind of the precursor. That's live technology, right? Do people
they're
still use
using
them?
that.
There's a flogger.
A flogger, yeah.
Flogger. Thanks, Jared Shelton. Post
Yeah.
online. It's a flogger. There you go. Yeah. The flogger. So you looking that one up, Ron? It's like eyeglasses you stick down in the water so you can see all the fish. And you can see them down deep.
It's a parking cone with
Yeah,
glass over
it's a parking cone with glasses, yeah.
it.
Kind of fun.
That's right.
Just put like saran wrap over your head and stick it in the water and you can kind of see what you want. But there was some crazy crap that people
Yeah.
did. I was trying to think of some other earlier live technology. I don't know. You got any?
There's nothing that's changed fishing.
Oh my gosh. We were talking last week. There's this big, for some reason, there's a big resurgence in the Hibden family on social media this week. You notice that?
No.
There's like some lady went on social media and wrote an article about your dad, and that took off great big. And then the classic fishing television shows are coming out, and there was a show with Virgil Ward, and they were going. No, listen, you'll have the story. They were going to go white bass fishing, right? And what was his son's name?
Greg?
Like Greg, right? Was it
Greg.
Greg Ward? Yeah, fishing with
Greg and
Virgil
Bill.
Greg Ward.
Bill,
That one.
well, actually, Bill and then Greg was the Grandson.
And so it was Virgil and Out. And it might have been Bill, but it's like, the song was really cool, and then they added one guy. It was kind of odd. It's like, fishing with Virgil and Brad Ward. So they're like, going to the picturesque Lake of the Ozarks in pursuit of the largemouth bass. We found it to be quite a struggle. So we recruited one of the lake's largest and most reputable guides on the lake, Gito Hibden. And it was spelled Getohibden on the TV. Gito. And Virgil's like, hello, Gito. and it's crazy because if you live on Lake of the Ozarks and you see it, you're like, holy crap, they're on the ledge. Because Gito's standing there and he's like, I want you to know that, and I learned something in the 2 seconds I watched the show. So the Osage River, and here's a little piece of history for you guys. On Lake of the Ozarks, the Osage River was actually a river before they flooded it. And during the Great Depression, they logged it, cleared it, and then they flooded it. But they had what were called tie slides. And they went up on the hill and they slid logs down into the river, and then they tied up to them and they floated them down the river. And there was a very well-known tie slide at about the 38.5-mile marker in Lake of the Ozarks. It's been there forever. You still barely see it. But he's telling Virgil Ward the story about they filmed a movie where they had like a team of mules and they ran them off of that and killed them all.
Yeah.
And actually, Virgil goes, did they all die? And he's like, well, I suspect so. He's like, it's a 500-foot fall. They ran them off and filmed it. And I'm like, did that really happen?
Yep.
And I think it was like a Butch Cassidy movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was saying, yeah, they filmed it right there, and they had a team of horses, and they launched them all off the cliff. And I was like, holy crap. Pretty neat. Kind of not neat that they killed a bunch of horses for a movie, or mules. But he's telling the story, and then they go about to fishing. And then Virgil's like, Gito also is a very well-accomplished bass angler who has accomplished about 7 wins in his first 7 times fishing. And he's like, well, how do you do it? And, and Gito in his first form, he's like, I went. It's like you just have to show up and catch them.
Showed up.
Yeah, I showed up and caught them. That's it. So it was kind of cool. So that was neat. Don't know where I was going with that, but if you go to, I think you can email me on Ask Real Talk, and I'll go talk to Dad because he actually wrote it down. You can stream it. It's kind of a neat little show. It's back. They're running like 185 Rangers, and it's gold, and he's got paper graph on it. Oh. So yeah, it was that far back. It'd be like 85 maybe, somewhere in there. So kind of neat. It's a good show. I highly recommend it.
We actually see Bill just every now and then up by Truman. He lives up.
Really?
Yeah, he lives
Virgil
in
Ward?
the Warsaw area.
He's
his
still.
son.
I was gonna say Virgil Ward's
son.
not alive. If you see him, you're seeing things.
Yeah, his
I
son
saw the
lives
ghost
up there in that
of
part of
Virgil
the
Ward
world.
in Warsaw. Also, the new 2026 buyer's guide came out for us tackle retailers. There's 4 baits, and they're all single minnow baits for live scope. Just so you know, spoiler alert. And some new rods and reels that look identical to everything last year. 40 pages of crap. Anyway, that's
You got
that.
4 new live scope baits.
Quickly.
Yeah,
No,
but
you don't have-
somebody's going to buy it, though. Trust me.
You don't have to point them out because
No.
I really don't care.
No, I'm just going to be honest. We've got a Little George.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We've got, those are crappie jigs. Hair jigs are new. Been out since 1950. Let's see here.
Little George has been out since 1970.
Berkeley has a Power Bait Power Vibe, which is a split tail fluke. Great Lakes Finesse, it looks like a Kitech without a tail, single tail.
It's got little ribs on
And
it.
that's all that's in there. Other than some reels and, now mind you, I just want to be really clear.
And our tackle industry is
I just want to say,
failing for what reason?
I just want to
Because they're not
remind you
selling any
that
tackle.
product highlights are people who pay for advertising also. We know this. So
Well, those
I'm
are
sure,
probably the only ones that can afford to now
That's
in this
right.
day and age.
That's right. So anyway, yeah, and there's some new trolling motors, which I think Garmin and Lowrance have reverse now. Did you know that? I think it's like a double click and it goes the other way, so you have to spin it around. Kind of cool. Only $5,000. It's a good deal. There's new tackle boxes with black foam instead of green foam.
Nice.
Here's a glide with a red tail. That's pretty cool. And that's about it. So nothing new and exciting there for you mindstayers. But if you want to borrow my fishing tackle retailer, which I love the magazine, by the way, shameless plug. It's free to retailers. If you're a business and you do it, I think it's part of BSS. They publish it. They got some really cool articles on telling us all to close our businesses and go to online sales because that's the only way to survive, and use AI to do it. It's really exciting to read. Like you're wasting your time. So anyway, so to rewind back like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So you win regionals, right?
Hey, that's just the way it goes.
And we end up so you go to the championship because I think it's cool. Because I've never made it that far, so I like people that have done it. Because that's a hurdle. How many anglers in the regionals, roughly?
Anglers in the regionals?
Yeah.
Well,
Not the championship.
No, that's in Alfala. So we're looking at 250.
Did you say Alfala?
Yeah, Alfala.
Eufaula.
Eufaula.
Alabama?
No.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
There's two,
I know.
All right. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
So it's kind of like the Ozarkish.
Right.
Yeah, it's all right.
250.
250. So you win that one through the weight's cool, and then you go to the Mississippi River, right?
Yes, sir.
Ugh.
Hey.
Did you like it?
Don't knock it, man. You're
Which?
talking about that's up in La Crosse.
That's right. See, I knew we were going
It's as
here.
good as it can be.
Yes. I mean,
Define that. What is as good as it can
Well,
be?
it's actually got good smallmouth and a largemouth and a number of different ways to catch them.
Did you? So, and I'm not making fun of you.
no,
I'm not.
No, go ahead.
Ended up overall 32nd.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, it's okay. I actually pulled up your stats.
Yep.
As I do in every show.
Exactly.
Let's see. Career for Todd. Four total tournaments. 0 classic appearances, 0 classic wins, twice in the money. No first, no second, no third, no top 10s. One. Oh wait, hang on a minute. 1 top 20, 2 top 30s. Career earnings in BSS, which I gotta tell you, $828 is probably the highest BSS one that I pulled up because nobody wins any money in BSS. We always find it in FLW stuff. BFL pays out. Everyone fishes BFL, but there's not a lot of guys that we talk to that fish BSS side. So the fact that you were on their website, that's pretty damn good, I have to say. Now, I'm not making fun of you. I'm being honest.
No,
I mean,
you can make
that's
fun of me. Everybody else does. So might
no.
as
So
well.
32nd on the Mississippi River. Were you hung behind a guy that was fishing with live technology,
Well,
or did you go smallmouthing, or did they just?
You got to figure.
Did it rain? What happened?
Jamie.
Todd, what happened?
First day, I was paired up with a guy from. This guy. I mean, we went out. And he was from Georgia. I said, look, let's go out.
Strike one.
Hold on, man. Don't criticize him, man.
No, I can.
We went out and we picked up like 2 or 3 patterns.
Could you understand what he was saying?
Oh yeah.
Was
I
he
could.
like deep south?
Oh no, he wasn't deep south.
We talked about that today too. You ever talk to somebody in the deep
Oh,
Mississippi
yeah.
South?
Oh yeah. Down in Toledo.
Can't understand a word they're saying. It's not even racial or anything. A white guy, he'll talk Creole and you don't have no idea what he's saying.
So basically, the first day.
Go ahead.
First day, and we're sitting there, and I told him, I said, let's just go out and fish. Let's just go out and fish. I haven't been on here. I didn't go up here and didn't do any practice. I got off work.
Well, you didn't take a boat, did you?
No, I didn't take
Yeah.
a boat with me. So basically, I didn't do any practice. So basically, I was going in blind. So we go
Hey,
in.
and Mobass helps kick in a little bit of the fundage, right? A little? No?
To regionals, yes, but
Championship,
not,
no.
To
Okay.
the championship, no. That I went through the whole stage. Went through the clubs, went to the state, went from the state to the regionals, and went from the regionals to the championship.
Gotcha. And the reason I asked that because the more participation, the more money, easier it is.
Yeah, that's exactly
All
right. So
Proceed.
basically, the second day, I got a guy from.
What was your day one weight?
Day one weight was over 10 pounds and something.
Do you have a limit?
I had a limit.
Nice. Felt good
And
then.
the only reason why is because there's a nice lady, and Mr. Hibden knows who she is. I spoke to, and before 1990, spoke to her, Miss Stella, which
Oh.
is a very nice lady. And she says, you want to make it in a career of fishing, one of the things that you got to do, and it's a must, is you must make a limit. And that
Oh,
is
yeah.
that's the goal.
And have a good rain suit.
And a good rain suit.
That's right. Sorry, I just have to say that. That's the law of the land.
But
Yeah, you know what? She said that to me one time in a much different manner, because I came back from Rayburn with 2 fish, my first trip.
well,
And
once
she
you
said
get
she sat
past-
down on a bucket in my shop, and she said, and I quote, "Son, what the boop is wrong with you?" And I said, "Man," I said, I'm not having fun." She said, "Mother boop, you're not supposed to have fun. Your job is to go out there and catch 5 fish a day for 3 days. And if you can't do it, and I suggest you do something else."
Exactly.
And that's how she said it.
Exactly.
Did you get the beat part? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
So the second day,
That's how she's
the second,
Yes.
so the second day,
Talk to you that
basically,
way too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
she's
Hit
so
you in the hip with
after
frying pan,
after I
son.
had that conversation
All
years
right.
ago with Miss
Got to
Stella,
catch 5. Yep.
right, to catch 5. That has always stayed in my
Which
brain.
you know, I'm not going to give Stoll a lot of credit for that. That's kind of a common sense thing
It is.
anyway.
It is.
It's like you don't
know,
go there with the goal to catch 3.
Right. As a
Right.
boater, it's not a problem because you're up in the front of the boat. It's not a problem. I'm old school. Dion, I guarantee you, he'll tell you he's old school too.
He's kind of
I mean,
mid-school.
Oh, you
A
think
little bit of old, a little bit of new. He's kind of mid-school.
I don't know.
He's got old school beard, but new school thoughts.
Well, he's just a year younger than I am. So
Doesn't age isn't a thing.
I know he's still
He
young
can turn-
at heart, man.
He can still turn his live target on.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That says a lot.
Oh yeah.
That
So
says a
the
lot.
second day, I paired up with some guy from South Carolina.
Some guy. So
Some
he
guy.
was a
So-
butthole.
Oh no.
He's not watching. It's
no,
okay.
No, it doesn't matter if he's watching. or
Remember his
not.
name?
Actually, I can look on my phone and find out.
So
what
he
his name
was
is.
not that good of a guy.
Right.
Because I can
So
remember some of my
basically- right.
partners. Yeah, that's not.
So
he was
so
average.
basically, the bottom line is most of the day was fishing his water. So I've already got a pattern down from the first.
What was he doing? Jig fishing, open water fishing?
Oh, he was out on points, and there was nothing on points.
Now river like
river points.
so like breaks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically,
Jetties.
Well, they're not called jetties. They're called
Wing dams.
Wing dams.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, somewhat. But
Tomato,
they're
tomato,
underwater.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're underwater.
Yeah.
We can have that story again too.
So basically,
my share.
the bottom line is I was catching a lot of shorts. I told him basically, I said, man, we're both in this, so we need to change up. I said, why don't we go fish one of my patterns? So we go in this pocket, and there must have been 12 boats in this pocket. I said, well, this is great.
Did you ever catch any skipjack?
Oh, I'm telling you what, first day, I guarantee you one thing, I threw that buzzbait out the first day, and I mean, all hell broke loose. And I was like, oh, it's on. It's on. I looked down, and it's probably 5 foot long. And I said, that ain't the right species, man. So,
No, 5
trust
foot
me,
herring?
trust me. No, it was a pike.
Okay.
So we should have ended up in a pike tournament because we must have had 90 pounds of pike that day.
But no skipjack.
No skipjack.
Okay, just checking.
So basically, so the second day when I went back in that pocket, I told him, said, look, everything that we've been catching on the pattern is with that sand bank. All the fish are sitting on the sand bank. There's 3 types of sand bank. You had the clay type sand bank, and you had the dark sand bank, and then you had the white beach style bank.
Okay, hold that. Have you ever heard of that?
What?
Different kinds of sandbanks, colors?
Well, I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds dumb. Go ahead.
It sounds dumb, but
Right.
basically the bottom line, we weren't getting the first day. We figured all this out. And I
Because
said,
sand
that's-
is sand.
So basically, we went down, and I said, "You see that sandbank?" I said, "There's been
Was it
10
dark, mid, or light?
It was light. It was
Okay,
like,
go
it was
ahead.
like
Just making sure I got the
ocean-
picture
It's
here.
like ocean sand.
White
So-
sand.
Yeah, white sand.
Gotcha.
Well, it's a little yellowish, but
Was
that's
it
all right.
glass, like glass clear, or just like white?
No, it's kind of yellowish.
All right.
But oh, that was good. That was
Go ahead.
good.
I got it.
So basically, the bottom
No,
line.
it's chair
so
squeak. He
did-
didn't fart.
So the first time I threw up there right up on the bank. I set into one.
Okay.
He goes, there's 12 other boats sitting here watching you. And I said, yeah, I know.
It's
So
tournament
after
hours,
that-
right?
Oh, yeah.
Who gives a shit?
I know.
Right?
But basically, the bottom line is I take 2 cranks and he comes off. I was like, well, this ain't.
So you were throwing a crankbait.
So I was throwing a crankbait.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I know that because he said I took 2 cranks.
Uh-huh.
yeah. So
He didn't
I
twitch
throw
it.
back.
or
I throw back about 10 yards from it. I pick up one.
square bill.
Square bill.
That's what I thought.
So
Wait a minute.
wait.
It's
can you
guessing time.
Guess.
He's throwing a square bill and lacrosse on a sandbank. He was throwing an RC 2.5 and lavender shad. Your guess.
It's probably some sort of lucky craft.
What was it?
Well, you got the death right. It was a Spro.
Spro? Little John?
Yep.
All right. Those suck. That's why he got off. All right,
well,
go
well, but the biggest thing about it is, so the problem is, this time of the year, everybody looks at it. If you catch one fish in one certain area and it's certain, you got your pattern down. You know that there's going to be more than just one fish there.
ahead. Was there current?
Where we were at, no,
Okay.
Second day I didn't have no current.
I'm getting my
so-
visual here built up.
Yeah, you're getting your visual built.
This is day 2 still,
So,
right?
This is day 2.
Man, this is a long story.
So
I just want to get day
now
3 where you fell on your
I
head.
should have had 2 in the boat. I only got 1.
Okay.
So about another 10 yards down from where I just caught that one, put in the boat, I get into another one. So I put it in the boat.
Okay.
So
Just
looked
standard
around.
keeper, 2.5 pound, 15-inch
Yeah,
fish.
about 2 pounds.
Yeah,
About
okay.
2 pound average.
A skinny 15.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it keeper.
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 Counts.
So
Yeah.
it counts.
You know what that's like.
So the
Skinny.
third cat, after about that, I was going down about another 5 yards down from where I caught that one. I caught the third one and put it in the boat.
Same white sandbank.
Same white
You're just
sandbank.
hitting the stretch. Got it. How
And,
deep?
it had to be right from anywhere between 3 to 6 foot.
Okay.
Off of that.
See any bait?
No bait.
No skipjack.
No
All right.
skipjack.
Go ahead.
No skipjack.
All right.
So time was expanding, and I looked at him. I said, "Well, I lost that one. I should have had 4 in the boat." So the second day, I was in 21st place, and at the end. So
And that's
I go
good.
So I go in the third day.
That's setting in the hunt, right?
Yep.
Well, especially on the co-angler side, because and I just have to back up to paint everybody a picture. When you're fishing the back of the boat, it is not uncommon for you to catch 15 pounds one day and 0 the other 2, and win.
It happens.
And win.
It happens.
So, setting in 20th, it's check time. I mean, I'd be sitting there going, I'd be saying, I'm going to catch a couple of fish, and I'm going to either win or get a check.
Exactly.
Never go backwards.
Nope. Don't go backwards.
But we went to day 3, and
Okay.
something happened.
So I pair up with Austin. He's a pro from out of California.
His first name or last name Austin?
His first name's Austin.
Okay. All right.
I remember his first name because
Right.
he's the one.
Because he
that-
was decent.
Right.
Yeah, I
So,
got it. Okay.
Basically, there's 4-hour fog delay. And I was like, well, I had a 4-hour fog delay during the state.
They extend
so-
the weigh-in, or is it shorten your day?
Yeah, they kind of shorten the day because we're
Right.
only 40
I think if
boats.
you have a delay, you get what you get, right?
Get what you get.
It
All
is
right.
after 4 hours, BASS can call it off.
Gotcha.
So basically,
you had 4 hours.
So we sat for 4 hours in the fog. We get in there, and so now we're down to 4 hours of fishing time.
What was his idea to fish?
His idea to fish was, hey, we're going to stick you out in the middle of the river, and I've got a hole probably no bigger than 2 freaking tables that I'm going to throw a live scope at and throw a minnow in
For smallmouth.
for smallmouth
So you went from fishing to the bank to going out in open water in the river to a hole.
to a hole.
Gotcha. Or
And-
a mound.
It was
spot.
It was more of an underwater eddy, and
Okay.
and Hinda can tell you, when you're looking at currents in the river, I mean, everything, you got certain eddies, and also there's eddies underneath the water. When you got a deep hole, that water goes over top of the hole, and it causes an eddy, which flows back up.
So you got a back flush.
back flush, basically.
You fish
so-
those all the time, don't you?
So I'm sitting
Yeah.
here, I'm
Yeah.
sitting in the back of the boat, and I'm throwing everything I can possibly throw, drop shot.
Carolina rig. There you
rig.
go.
I threw.
Throw a French fry?
I threw an 1/8 ounce shake. I threw a minnow. I threw everything I can possibly throw. I threw a crankbait, and I
Yeah.
had 2 bites in 4 hours. And the first bite I got was about 7 or 8 pound suckerfish.
Okay.
So I was like, well, this is good. I'm in the current. He's spot locking on this, and I understand he's trying to move up. I'm trying to move up. I'm in 21st place, and I want to at least make the top 10. I'm like, well, this ain't going any good. I said, we're down to 2 hours left in the ball game. I said, hey, why don't we give these guys a break right here? We'll back off of this and give me about 20 minutes on my pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I want to sit here and keep doing this. I said,
Yeah,
okay.
which I will say, and again, no disrespect to you, probably the last thing that anybody ever wants to hear from the front of the boat is a guy in the back of the boat telling them they should go somewhere else.
No, I didn't say that. Just give
Right.
me 20 minutes of my
Right.
time.
No, they don't care.
I don't know.
I mean, at that point, I'm going to sit on the spot forever, and you can rot.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
That's cold.
it's kind of, but I'm not lying, am I? I mean, there's been times, and I'll tell you what, there's been times where an angler has said to me, hey, I've got better water. And I'm like, well, you should have bought a boat. That's
Well, it's the luck of the draw.
that's right. But then there's also people that I know in the back of the boat that were better than me that said, you done yet?
Yeah.
And I'm like, excuse me? And they said, are you done dicking around and being stupid? Because I'll show you where you can catch fish. I'm like, all right, let's reel it up, So you said, hey, I've got some better water.
Well, not really.
And he went,
but- no, well,
I just need 20 minutes to
you
fish
gotta-
something
You
else.
got to give.
I
mean,
want to go
if
back to
you're
my
fishing-
white sand.
You got to
Right?
figure. He's been on this thing for 3 hours.
Is that what you wanted to do? Take you to sand?
Just give me 20 minutes.
Take me to the beach?
Take me to the beach.
I want to go to the beach.
I
Got
want to
it.
go to the beach.
So I can catch 3
wanna
fish and make
throw-
top
I
10.
want to throw my crank. Just
Yep.
catch one. If
Please
I could
take me
have
to the
caught
beach.
one fish,
And he said no.
and basically no.
Gotcha. There's
So
no
it's-
fish in the sand.
There's no, yeah,
That's all right.
because he's fishing a different pattern.
Right.
And he had more than one pattern up there. There's like 7 or 8 patterns.
Sure.
I mean, even the grass, there was hardly, I mean.
So he
most
was
of it's all
nice.
grass. Yeah, he
Austin was nice, but
He
he's
was
like,
nice.
no, we're not fishing the sand. You're not throwing your crankbait.
Well, he's trying
Drag
to
the
move up.
bottom. Good luck.
He's trying to move up just like I'm trying
Did he
to move
catch
up.
it? What did he end up with?
Oh, he had a limit within 10 minutes.
So he back-ended you. Good pro. Yeah.
Yeah.
You went home with tail between your legs. He moved up,
Life,
but he
life-
didn't.
life
He didn't make it onto
experience.
the classic though.
Nope, he didn't.
So you kind of slept good that night, knowing that too, didn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Happens, right?
It happens.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, being in the back of the boat, regardless of I got my own boat and be the pro, certain circumstances of
If you would have won the championship in the back of the boat, you don't go to the classic as a boater.
yeah, you do.
Really?
Yes, you do.
So, just to put that in perspective, you're probably the first person I've known outside of Dion that I don't. Have we had anybody in the show that's been within 20 spots of making it to the classic?
You have to be the top 10.
Top 10. Yeah,
You
but I
have to be
mean,
the
but
top
you were 21st in the second day. I mean, that's pretty close. Not bad.
But then I went from 21st to 32nd.
Yeah, you fell down 11. That's all right. I went from 52nd to 198th in Oklahoma one time on a Toyota.
$1,000.
That's right. Did you look me up too?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
I agree.
I zigged instead of zagged.
It
That's
happens.
what happens. That's right.
It's just the luck of the draw.
But so yeah, and that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because it's nice. I want people to hear the stories about guys that try, maybe fall a little short, and that's okay. But you're not quitting.
no.
You're
No.
still sticking it out with BSS with your 1 in 1 bajillion chance to make it.
The politics, yeah.
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 But you're gonna do it again, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to.
You guys are gonna wear your same old shirts, and do
Oh,
your
yeah.
club stuff, and take pictures, and
Oh yeah.
go to the state regional, and
Oh yeah.
do your thing. Right?
Well, you know the biggest thing about it is the only way to get there is to keep that line in the water.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah. That's all right.
If you don't try, you can't make it.
That's right. See? So this is an uplifting show.
So
Or-
one of the
or
last thing,
mass
the last thing on
stupidity.
my mind,
One of
though,
the two.
the last thing I want to say is
Fire away.
before I die, before God puts me in the ground, and it sends me up to the pearly gates, I want to at least make it to the classic. And it doesn't matter if I'm a
Ooh.
non-boater or a boater, because the field's going to change in 2027.
Do you want to hear the worst thing I could ever say to you?
Good luck.
You're gonna die wishing that, because there probably won't be a classic in
I
5 years.
I don't have to. I don't have to win it. I just want to
No,
go.
I'll tell you what. I can make that come true. You guys, we can get Todd Tigar to the classic. Do you know that?
I did not.
All we have to do is we'll start right now. AskRealTalk@gmail.com. Let me know. I'll send a Venmo, and we'll get into the classic. You can watch it as a spectator. We'll get your ticket bought, and you can.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm
Oh, okay.
talking about.
They say
I
going
can-
to
I
is
can
almost
go- I
as
can-
exciting.
No.
Have you ever been to
no,
one?
no. Have I been to one?
To
Yeah.
a classic?
I've
I've
been-
never been to one.
I haven't fished one. That's
And
what I want to do. That's my life. That's my life goal. is
You can
to
be a
fish it.
marshal.
Hey, I'm not fishing.
Well, you can go. I'll tell you what. Just do this. Find out wherever the classic is. Get your good scary shirt on. Get your boat all wrapped up, and just go in front of the camera and fish.
It's not
And they'd
quite,
be like-
not quite the same.
Who the hell is that?
Not quite
can
the
tell-
same.
This man
Yeah.
right here can tell you. He can tell you the life experience.
Oh, we've talked these stories before. That's I've
Yeah.
never heard that. We'll probably talk about it again.
Sometime, I'm sure.
Yeah, we really haven't talked about the classic one as much as the FLW, and we didn't air the one where we actually did the show. We sat here one night and drank
Oh,
beer,
I've-
and we put the show up on TV, and then we paused it, and he told stories. I thought it was kind of fun,
Well, I
right?
fished the MLF too.
Yep.
I made a top 10. I made the top 10 up there out of Warsaw.
Do you want me to look you up and make sure?
Yeah, you can look
But
me
you're
up.
not in there.
I bet I am
You bet.
as a non-boater.
It took me a while because I didn't spell your name right.
Oh, I know.
It took me a while.
Come on, man. I remember you trying to go for everything else. You should know what my last name was.
No, I had it, but I was doing it Tygar.
There you
Well,
go.
actually, you're almost correct.
I know.
Because,
totally, I know.
Because when
Tigar.
my grandfather, great-grandfather came over from overseas,
Mhm.
it was Tygar.
Gotcha. And they
And
changed
he changed the Y to I so people would understand. Because actually, if you think about it, the T is silent. So it's Jaeger.
it. Okay.
So the T was silent.
My mom was a Jager. which was a Jaeger. Does that count? But it was Jaeger. It was
I don't
German.
know.
That's
It's Polish and all this other crap.
Polish.
Could be. Could be German. Could be Polish.
Your brother comes in here a lot. Is Pacholski.
Well, maybe.
He is Polish.
I think so.
100%. No, he knows it. His girlfriend came in and had lunch the other day,
Really?
and we were talking about the pronunciation of his name.
I thought she was a myth.
No, she exists.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She's pretty awesome. He's got to be amazing in bed. That's all I can say. It's got to be amazing because she sticks around. So yeah,
Hitting out of his league, huh?
yeah. I'm not gonna judge Elena. It's fine, but yeah, she's an awesome person. Yeah, I
And
like
he's
her.
probably listening.
Yeah, no, that's why I was talking about it. Are you guys crazy? Of
He's
course,
definitely listening.
of course. So yeah, we killed a whole hour talking about nothing. That was pretty awesome. I like it. Shameless plug time. Do you have any sponsors you want to talk about?
Oh, basically no. But the biggest
Huh?
thing is I got one question for Mr. Guido over here.
Dion.
Guido. Guido.
We call you
Guido.
Maybe we call you Guion.
You can call me whatever you want. Just call me.
Call me fried chicken.
So
All right, go ahead.
basically, I want his dad's not here. So basically, the question is, your dad's already gone. He's upstairs watching down over all of us. Okay. When was the first time that your first fish? Do you remember your first fish that you caught? Do you remember?
Absolutely not. No. No, I don't remember the first one I ever caught. No. Probably the first and most memorable fish that I ever caught. I caught one that weighed 10 3/4 the second day of practice of the BASS tournament here on Lake of the Ozarks. On the day of practice, he let me take off school and fish with him one day, and I caught the biggest bass I'd ever caught in my life. And at that point in time, the biggest fish he'd ever seen out of Lake of the Ozarks, and that's probably the first real memory that I have of catching something that was pretty spectacular. And like I say, caught it the second day of practice of the BASS tournament, and he ended up winning the tournament off of the 2 docks where I caught the big one. He won the tournament the final day.
That's why I brought your dad's name into it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see, from your experience, what you went through, what you've. I remember to this day, I was 5 years old, and the first fish I ever caught was a bluegill, and it was a hand-me-down pole on a bait caster with a spinning reel attached to it, and on hand-me-down poles, you don't know what you're going to get on a hand-me-down pole, okay? But my first fish was a bluegill. I kept it in my grandfather's freezer for about 8 years, and I asked my grandfather when I was about 15, I said, "You still got my first
He
fish?"
put it in lime in his sock in his
And there was
dresser drawer.
nothing- and there's nothing left except bones.
All right, so nobody asked me, so you get my story.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right, so I grew up on a farm with 88 acres, and my grandfather had a 2-acre lake. And if I could go in my dad's garage, he had a Mitchell 308. I think it was an Eagle Claw, the gold series rods, a spinning reel, and he had a little tackle box, and there was a bass and bug. And you have to look that up. It's an old vintage bait, but it was Coach Dog. It's my favorite. It looks like a little bass, and it has a little fly coming out of his mouth. I used to love that thing. Never caught a fish on it, but I loved to take it. And we would go up the hill, about 500 yards, through the gate, and there was a bull, so you had to look for the bull, and then haul ass to get to the second gate because the bull comes through, you get there, and you get to fish. It's awesome. Caught a lot of fish there. But across the road was Davis's lake. And spillway of my grandfather's pond would go over there, and when we had big floods, we'd go there, we'd hop the fence, which you're not supposed to do, catch all those fish, and restock the pond. We did that. But they always told us that there was a fish in there called the dark one. And that was the Sierra Madre of bass. And it was like a lore, and it's like we would sneak, my buddies and I, we'd come home from school, and we'd go up the hill, go through the gate, go down to Gramps and Granny's, go to the storm shelter, we'd get everything set up, and then we'd look both ways, and we'd go across the road and hop the fence and go over and try to catch a dark one. I guarantee you, we tried to do that for years. And finally, I was probably 15 years old, and I caught it. I mean, it was the fight of fights. It was probably a 7-pounder. And from that moment on, the whole concept of going down there to try to catch it became boring. because we completed. It's like, I guess
It's like you caught it.
it's like
only
it's
one.
like
accomplishment is
I
already
guess it'd
had.
be like kids playing video games when you finish the game. It's like we won, and then it's over, and they roll the credits. Like, oh, now what do we do?
Yep.
And it was like, meh. So we graduated to Flat Creek, and we started running lines and catching frogs and killing stuff, and it was more fun. But yeah, Davis's Pond became a place of history. But I think it's still there.
My main reason I can't remember my first fish is because when the first property that my dad really ever owned, he owned about 15 acres, built a little house on it, and it had a very small pond. Pond probably not as big as this building. Well, actually, probably half the size of this building. And every fish that he caught over 6 pounds, not every fish, but he would put 3 or 4 of them in there every spring. And so from my earliest memories that I have of bass fishing would be going to that pond every day after school and catching 3 or 4 6 to 10 pounders.
And put them back.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
6 to 10 pounders.
Yeah.
There was a number of 10 pounders in the pond. And me and my brother, we'd go over there and we'd just catch 2 or 3 of them a day.
Do you
know,
think, and this is, I
And-
love
and did
when
it-
you
did it
talk about shit
spoil
that I have
me?
no idea. Yeah.
Did it spoil me? Yeah, but only in the respects that I can't remember my first one.
Yeah, but here, let me get down in the weeds in this. Let me ask you a thought-provoking question. Do you think that you learned at an early age of behavior how a 10-pound bass lives and breathes, and where we come to the term where he says all the time, you gotta know where fish live, you know?
It didn't hurt me none.
I mean, who has that opportunity, you know?
Sure.
You put a pond with a bunch of 10-pounders and you get to study them for days on end and catch them over and over
You-
again and act how they bite and how they
You-
work,
you
how they
can-
live,
You can look
might be
at the
advantageous.
greatest fishermen on the planet. Look where they live.
Yeah.
And where they live is some of the best fishing in that area.
Yeah.
You know, Lake of the Ozarks has had 4 different world champs that live
Yep.
on here.
Unfortunately,
You go to Toledo Bend. Toledo Bend back 40 years ago.
Yeah.
It was the cream of the crop.
right.
The Hemp Hill gang lived there, and there was 10 of them that every bass tournament you went to, you had to beat those same guys
Yeah.
every time. The guys from California, they all came from the Delta, somewhere around the Delta. And it's, Gary Klein would tell you right up front, he said, it doesn't hurt nothing when you learn how to flip in a place where you catch 500 a day.
Exactly.
And yeah, that makes you a better fisherman if you
Yeah.
get that kind of practice.
Exactly.
See, we're unlocking the secrets as we go.
It doesn't hurt. The
So-
state of Florida, you wonder why Florida's got so many good fishermen? My God, it's good water. It's a
And
good
it's
place.
warm and they're lazy.
Yeah, it's a good
I mean,
place
look
to
at
catch
Peter
one,
T.
too.
down there sitting on his ass fishing every day.
That's
It's nice
right.
and warm, getting fat
That's
like
right.
a tick.
So
Catches them.
One
Yeah.
of the things I want to say before I leave is the first day up in championship, there were 7 released boats that released fish.
Mhm.
7 of them. 7 times the released boat went out and dumped.
Did you see where they went?
No, but I know there was quite a few fish caught, like 5,400.
I looked, if I
Somewhere
remember right, I think on the co-angler side, on day 3, the totals were around 20, 22, 23 pounds, 3
Exactly.
days, something like that. For
Yeah.
co-anglers on a 3-day, that's not bad.
That's
Now,
good.
have you ever seen a
What'd you have,
7?
16?
Yeah, 16 total.
16 something, not
Yeah.
bad. I mean, that's
But
not
you
bad.
got to figure something. Have you ever seen a over 7-pound smallmouth?
Oh, yeah. You ever seen an 8-pound
have you ever
spotted?
caught one that was over
No.
7 pounds?
No. I still, to this
I've only
day,
seen one.
Shasta Lake in California, I watched them catch spotted bass. They were unbelievable. And then when I got to weigh them on stage, it was unbelievable. I didn't think they existed. It's like,
They don't anywhere else.
it's crazy. Crazy.
Yep.
Stupid crazy. Yeah, anyway, totally another deal. Got a shout out to Lloyd and June Morgan at Hiawatha Beach Resort. They always take care of us and keep us in sound and money, and it's nice.
That's right.
We're not going hungry. We have free beer, and the microphone works, and the electric
right.
bill's paid. So thanks to them. Check them out at the Hiawatha Beach Resort. Beautiful. Little Buffalo? Big Buffalo.
Little Buffalo.
Little Buffalo. On the Little Buffalo Cove, and check them out. And they're awesome. I asked you earlier. You said no.
Well, I got Bait Cave. If you want
There you
Bait
go.
Cave, I got to give out to Amanda and Riley. I mean,
Right on.
they do a lot of background around here, and they do a lot
Mhm.
of help for all the fishermen.
Yep.
I mean,
Got a great live feed they do every once in a while.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
check them out on Facebook, and yeah, we have their full line here at the store too, so you can check us out. They're all right. Yeah. How about you? You want to throw anything in?
Me?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
You gonna dress up as Santa this year?
I do every year.
We do the Santa show too,
I will.
the week before Christmas. You gonna let your hair grow a little more? You're gonna be you're
I'll,
gonna be the Chinese Fu Manchu
I'll-
Santa this year.
I'll fool these people just like I do all them little
Oh my god.
kids in the school.
All right. I think we're done. So that's it for tonight. Todd, thanks for coming on the show. We sure
Hey,
appreciate it.
Yep.
We're going to follow up next year and see how you do.
yeah, I'll be down in Toledo, and
It
then,
sounds like we won't be seeing Todd again on the show.
oh well, that's nice.
Oh, you said
Well,
Toledo Bend is your 1st one?
No, that's in April.
Oh,
Toledo
gotcha.
Bend's in April. Then I'll be going to. Actually, he's going to go to South Carolina, Hartwell, and actually
Those are BSS tournaments?
the championship's going to be in Hartwell.
Ugh. You like Hartwell?
Yeah.
And actually,
I have
actually,
never
they've got
asked you about a
they got
body of water where you said, I don't like that.
Oh, there's some.
Atchafalaya Basin.
Yeah, but there's
Chaffline, yeah, it's not my favorite.
Right.
I like Tide, though, so it doesn't bother me.
Let's see. Crappy Lakes.
Alton Pool,
Never heard of it. Where's that? Illinois?
Illinois.
Ooh.
Worst one ever.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
14 pounds total.
The
for
birds
3
don't even
days.
fly over Illinois anymore.
14 pounds total for 3 days for the pro side.
It's my favorite joke.
What's that?
But if you ever get to an area like for example, you said Alton Pool, not that good. And my response is the birds don't fly over the Alton Pool anymore. You know why? Because there's nothing decent to poop on.
No,
Da-da-da-da. Now,
there's not.
tonight, look, it's not a shameless plug, but my daughter went to University of Arkansas,
Uh-huh.
and she's now, good Lord, 26, 28, somewhere in there. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, I pay attention to your age because it makes me older. But I have been forced to be an Arkansas Razorback fan ever since she went to college.
Yeah.
They had a horrible football season. I mean, horrible. And we're cursed with Razorback crap because
Well, they're probably proud that you're pointing that
they
out.
score a ton of points and they fall out in the fourth quarter. It's like the Razorback curse, right? We have a new football coach. So welcome aboard, Coach Silverfield. And I hope he has a better chance of doing it. All the Razorback fans are like, it's probably not going to help. But we're all hoping. So, and everything else, it's pretty cool. So
Okay.
we have a new coach. So I'm not an MU fan, so I'm just exercising my right to talk about
There you go.
Razorback football because it's kind of fun to go down there if you haven't never been. So that's all I'm going to say.
Never been. No.
All you got to do
Yeah.
is give him a 6-pack of beer. He'll be happy.
Oh, no,
right.
yeah, their tailgating down there rivals the Chiefs.
Really?
Well, you got to understand something. And here's a trivia question. Name me a professional organization in the state of Arkansas.
That's true.
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
The next best thing is the Arkansas Naturals, which is the minor league program for the Kansas City Royals. Which are baseball in Arkansas is awesome. But the only other thing they got is crappy football, and they like beg and plead, and they've got Tyson and Walmart and all these companies like pouring it in. So guys, get out your checkbook and give these players their NIL money. Get the coach going and give him a break. And I know we're not talking about fishing, but
Hey.
it's crazy. Ugh. Please, I gotta wear this red crap, and I just want them to win a little bit. So anyway, that's all I got. So come back and see us again next week, and Wednesday at 6, we're gonna do it again. Should I get another guest?
Oh, I don't care.
Maybe I'll find one better than Todd. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
We'll bring it, but let's bring Ed on next week and talk about his rise to glory, his failing down to no longer being my beer guy, and then maybe he'll earn his way back up again and talk about his marginal
Gotta
fishing
work his
skills.
way in.
We can talk about his marginal fishing skills too.
I,
So
I think it's got to be worked in slowly.
I'm a little disappointed we let him sit in the front row tonight. So told him he couldn't do that,
Yeah,
but the
it's just
guys,
like he
but the
bounded-
guys let him in. So
It's like he bounded right back in and took up his chair.
I think he just intruded. We're going to put the reserve seats out tomorrow, next week. So thanks to the guys that all come and show us, the fat guys down O Road. You guys are awesome. Don't like the bib overalls, but that's okay. Yep, the fat guy. Yeah, you're the fat guys from O Road. Well, you're kind of fat.
No,
Appreciate it all. Be
great.
safe. It's going to be colder than a well digger's you know what
Yep.
this week here at the lake. So
Yeah, we got 50 next week.
if you're old,
turn
if you're
around.
old and you can't walk, I'm just telling you right now, put your life jacket on when you go down to the dock to go crappie fishing because we don't want to find you floating later.
That's right.
It's okay. Nobody's going to make fun of you. And stay safe. Catch
Docks
some
are-
good fish.
Docks are slippery.
Docks are slippery. And There'll be drawdown. The ramps will be inclined, and that's anywhere in the country, guys. Just be safe out there and have a good time, catch some fish, and don't listen to my rhetoric about professional fishing. Go out and fish. It's a fun, awesome sport. You're gonna love it. And if you want advice, tips, tricks, just give us a call, drop us an email. We're here anytime you want to. I'll tell you what. I'll even go one further. Just call me. I'll make an appointment. Dion will meet you here and tell you how to catch fish.
That's right.
Unless he's got other things going on.
Unless I'm deer hunting.
That one time.
One time. That'd be
All right, guys.
That'd be the one time.
We
Gotta start
appreciate you
shooting.
again so much. Take care, and we'll see you next week on Real Unfiltered Talk. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Todd.
Oh, we left out.